welcome. Today we are on day 8. I'm super pumped. I'm here to talk all about quieting that monkey mind and that chatter that might be keeping you stuck. So if you're someone who feels like you're always in this place of doubt or insecurity, or you're always overthinking about either all the things that happened in the past and like the mistakes or the things you said that you shouldn't have said, or I don't know why I did this. If you're always thinking about the things you said and like regretting it and replaying that, or if you are, super consumed and caught up by fears and anxieties of the future, if you feel like your mind is constantly playing negative stories and telling you you're not enough, or focusing on like, oh, I don't belong, or people don't like me, or I'll never be able to achieve XYZ. Whatever kind of mental stories, mental chatter is going on up here, this video is going to really help you uncover and shift so that it's no longer ruling your life. So as you are popping on, as always, please comment, please say hi, drop some hearts, drop some love. If you're catching the replay, comment replay, and yeah, we'll get right into it. I'm super pumped because I have been in such a creative flow the last few days. Like I really started doubling down on like my meditation. I just finished like an hour an hour of meditation again, so I'm like feeling really good and super aligned, super clear. And in my creative flow today, I was writing out, I'll share it in this group later, and on my Instagram, but I was writing out a post all about this monkey chatter and some ways to help shift it. And so I don't know, sometimes this video, I think we're good. And I wanted to share it on here because, I am someone who, like, that monkey chatter used to be my life and it used to be my default. And as I was writing these posts today, I was like, wow, really so much gratitude for how far I've come, because it feels like a lifetime ago that was my mindset and my default. And then I felt extra compelled to be like, let's pop on here and share some quick wins and quick breakthroughs for you to help you if you're in that place too, okay? So first things first is realizing you are not your thoughts. You are the observer. You are the being behind those thoughts. And a beautiful way to even just realize that, if that's like a new concept for you, is like if you think something right now, like think about a purple elephant and then you think about the fact that you're thinking about this, like who's thinking it? And who's behind that thought? Who's here who's able to actually observe and go, oh, I'm thinking about a purple elephant. That means there's something behind the thought itself. So the thought is the purple elephant. The fact that you're aware that you're thinking of a purple elephant is the being, that's the observer, right? And so that can help you in all your life. If this is like one thing that you take away from this video, it's to really start creating awareness and realizing you are the observer of your thoughts, okay? So when the anxiety comes in, when the doubt comes in, when the fear, when the insecurity, I forget if I said that or not, when anything comes in that's making you feel a certain way and it's bringing you down, practice, this does take time, but you want to catch it and realize, wait, I'm the observer. So like, I'm not actually the thought. Because if I think back to my struggles in this, excuse me, if I was thinking about, I'm not good enough, I don't matter, nobody really wants me here, like, there's no point in me being here, those thoughts made me feel really down, really small. I talk about that in other videos, right? They collapsed me into a certain way of being and thinking and acting. But if I'm aware that, wait a minute, like, look at how much power I was giving those thoughts, right? I was literally letting the thoughts collapse me and bring me down. And so this is the whole point. When you observe it and realize, oh, I'm actually the person behind the thoughts, I'm not the thoughts themselves. So the thought might be that I'm not enough, but that's not actually me. That's just a thought. That's just a story. The thought might be that you know, if I go try this new thing, I'm going to fail and it's going to go horribly wrong. But if I can practice and remember I'm the observer, then I'm going, oh, wait, that's actually not true. That's not actually me. I don't need to collapse and feel small and be afraid and never try something new. I can observe it and go, oh, okay, that's interesting. That's a thought. That's not who I am. So step number 1 is to create that separation and really become aware you are the observer. So I think day 8, task 1 for you is going to be to make this your homework for today and hopefully every day moving forward, where you can even use the mantra of like, I am the observer, just to help remind you throughout the day. So maybe today you set a little reminder in your phone, a little alarm, or maybe you're going to journal about this, whatever feels better for you, and practice and like take note of some of the things you're observing. So instead of like, oh, I'm so tired, or I'm so anxious, or I'm not enough, that's an attachment to the thought. If you let it go and you observe it, you can go, oh, I'm feeling tired. I'm feeling like I'm not enough right here. I'm feeling anxious. I'm experiencing anxiety. I'm experiencing tiredness, sleepiness, right? I'm experiencing it, but you're creating that separation. And so really, really today, take note of the certain things that you're becoming aware of. And then shifting that, just reminding yourself, oh no, I'm actually the observer. And also pay attention to, so this is still task 1, is like pay attention to the way your thoughts are making you feel. Because that's going to help you see like, oh wow, my thoughts are predominantly negative throughout the day and they're making me feel really down. And again, because you're aware of that now and you're seeing, wow, my thoughts have a big impact on my mood, then you can make the change. And so that's going to be really, really helpful. That was like a huge starting point for me, because as I realized my own thoughts were causing me a lot of pain, it was like, well, wow, if I'm causing this much pain for myself, I really want to try and shift that, because imagine how much better I'd feel. If I can cause myself to feel this much pain, I can also cause myself to feel that much joy by shifting those thoughts, okay? And we'll get into that. So step 1 is the awareness, the observer effect. Step 2, and this will be task 2 for today, is to, when you catch some of these thoughts, ask yourself where they're coming from and reflect on that. So like, where did you learn that you're not enough? Where did you learn that like you're not gonna ever make it, or you're not gonna ever achieve X, Y, Z? Where did that story come from? Because that's all it is. It's just a story that you've probably been telling yourself for quite some time. And our minds are very good storytellers. So that monkey chatter is just constant storytelling and negative storytelling. But now we're going to work on shifting it into the positive. So task 2 is to pick like 1 or 2 or 3, just pick a few of your kind of common beliefs. And pick a few of your common beliefs that are coming up, your common monkey chatter stories, and uncover the root cause. Like, look at why that feels true for you, because in this you're also, once again, you've detached and separated as the observer, and now you're going to question, you're going to uncover, so why is it that I think that way? And I know for me, like, this brings so much healing and growth, because it's like, well, I think that because of XYZ experiences, because of all these things that happened in that time where someone made me feel small, or I felt like I wasn't enough, or this thing happened and I made a mistake. And so in step 2 and in task 2, you're realizing where these things actually come from so that you can shift them again. You can realize like, oh, that was just an experience. It's not a true reflection of who I am. So the thoughts feel so real. The thoughts feel like they're who you are, and like, this is my identity. I'm never going to be enough, or I'm never going to reach these things, or I'm always going to be anxious. That's a very strong identification with the monkey chatter. but through the awareness, the observer effect, and then through realizing, oh, this actually stemmed from these things I've experienced, it's like it literally opens your eyes to realize that like the stories you're telling yourself aren't true. So what I was thinking of today is how, it's a situational experience perhaps, or situational belief, not an ultimate truth. So let's just add this to more homework today, more tasks for you. Task 3 is going to be to look at what is actually an ultimate truth. So if your monkey chatter is constantly telling you you're not enough, and you can uncover in task 2, like, oh, it's because of these experiences that I believe this so strongly. Task 3 is to ask yourself, is this an ultimate truth? Is it ultimately true that I am absolutely not enough? Or is it just that in these certain moments, in these certain experiences, in these situations, I didn't feel like I measured up, or I didn't feel like I did enough? Because now I see it's not an ultimate truth, it's a situational truth. Is it an ultimate truth that I am an anxious person? It might feel that way sometimes. I know for me years ago, I would have still said, yes, that's an ultimate truth, that's who I am. But through the observation, through that separation, I could see, okay, you know what? No, there's actually there are times where I'm not anxious, and then I just experience anxiety because I felt uncomfortable, or because I wasn't aligned, or because I was people pleasing, or trying to do things that weren't meant for me, or like sacrificing my own happiness, right? So those things were experiences that caused anxiety. So is it an ultimate truth that I'm an anxious person? No. Actually, it's not an ultimate truth. It's just a situational experience. And this is the discernment that is going to go so far in your life in helping you really separate from who you think you are and the stories you're telling yourself. So remember, like, out of all the thoughts you're having a day and all the monkey chatter, all the stories, very few of them are actually true. So if we can just work on quieting those, or separating from them and seeing them as what they are, of just a story, and we can then find the ultimate truth of like, hey, those were things I experienced, but I'm still over here. I'm actually still this. I'm actually stronger than I know. I actually have moments of peace and calm, right? I actually am good enough at certain things, even though there's a lot of things I wish I could be better at, right? That's actually the ultimate truth. The belief, the ego, the mindset tells us the ultimate truth is I'm not enough, I'll never be good enough. But the actual, real ultimate truth in the core of who you are and who you're here to be, the ultimate truth is I'm already more than enough. I'm just learning and growing and expanding along the way, but I'm already enough, right? It's a massive paradigm shift that's going to help so much, okay? And that comes into step 4, like it kind of bleeds in, they're kind of alongside each other, which is to then reframe those beliefs. So the monkey chatter, all the negative thoughts, all the things that are going on day in and day out, maybe at nighttime, maybe you can't sleep, it's constantly there. Okay, reframe those. So you start to do all those first 3 steps, and now you get to reframe those beliefs to actually serve you, actually help you and empower you with who it is you want to be, how you want to live your life. And this is where really deep magic happens, because you're starting to shift your identity and shift your self-talk. And it's in that reframe that you start to go, wow, okay, you know what? Maybe day 1 you reframe the beliefs and it doesn't feel super believable. You're like, you know what, Kara, I still feel anxious, or you know what, I still feel like I'm not enough. So this reframe isn't helping me. Continue, like commit to it, because I promise it will help you. So day 2, you try it again. You have the negative, the monkey chatter, the limiting belief come up, and you do this process, and then you work on reframing it. So what's a better thought? What's a thought that's going to make me feel better right now? And you know what? Even here's the thing, I didn't believe a lot of the reframing when I started it, right? My mind was so set on what it believed to be true about myself that I didn't believe the reframe, but I committed to it because what I realized is like literally what's the worst thing that could happen from trying to reframe it to something positive? What's the worst that could happen? The absolute worst thing that could happen from trying to shift and reframe into a positive thought is that you feel a tiny bit better in the moment. Like maybe you still don't believe it long term, or you don't fully identify and feel like, yes, I'm enough, or yes, I'm like peaceful, or yes, I'm confident, or yes, I'm this. You might not feel it immediately, but if it brings you even a millisecond of temporary relief in a positive way that you otherwise would not have had, is that not already a win? Like, is that not already better? Right? And so we get to take those baby steps. We get to see that even if we don't get that massive shift immediately, some people notice shifts within a few days because they're like, wow, okay, like I am already feeling better. I realized that I was living in a lot of illusions with the stories I was believing, right? Other people, it can take some more time, or it's like a roller coaster and it goes up, and then all of a sudden a lot of those old thoughts come back and they feel strong and you kind of fall back into them. That's totally normal. But if you can just keep reframing it and shifting and realizing, wait, I don't need to give my power to the negativity, I can give it to something that feels better and makes me feel happier in the moment, why not? There's literally nothing you can lose from trying to think more positively or more kind towards yourself, okay? So that is kind of your task 4, is going to be to reframe. So I'll invite you, with all the tasks you already did, because there's quite a few like little tasks today, is that when you pick your few beliefs that you're focusing on, or your few limiting monkey mindset chatter, beliefs, stories, you pick your few and then reframe them into a positive thing. So you see, wait, okay, this is actually just situational. It just happened these times, but I actually have some memories of me not being anxious and me feeling really confident and free, or I have memories of me feeling like I was good enough and feeling satisfied and supported. So I'm going to reframe, I'm going to write those things down, those positives of like, I know that I'm more than enough because of XYZ, or I know that I'm enough at this thing. I said XYZ so many times in this video, way too many times, apologies. But if you are, yeah, and then reframe it, like, I'm not, like, instead of thinking like I'm an anxious person, you get to reframe, like, I love how it feels when I feel this way, or when I'm doing this thing, or I love how calm and relaxed I am during this, or I love those moments of peace when I wake up, or whatever it is, right? Reframing to remind yourself that the opposite is a possible reality too, that the opposite is true. You're not just always this negative person or stuck in this negative cycle. Reframe it into something positive and empowering. And it could simply be like, I'm hopeful. Maybe you don't feel like you're fully there yet, so you can't be like, I love that I have this peace, or I love that but just be like, I'm really hopeful and I'm really excited for the day for the days when I feel more peace. Or I'm really excited that my confidence is building. I'm really excited that every day I feel a little bit better about myself. Even that's such a beautiful reframe. It's so simple, but it's going to immediately allow you to feel better about yourself instead of continuing to spiral down and fall into that dark place of continuing to think that you're not enough. So making those little subtle shifts might seem small, but they actually change everything, because as we have so many thoughts a day, and it's usually very out of our control, you're shifting, you're taking that control back. You're going like, you know what? My mind is no longer my master. I'm the master. I'm wearing the pants. I've got control. I'm taking that back. And that's where all that freedom comes. So I hope this video was helpful. With that said, actually, like, I have an incredible mindset training that dives a lot more into how to reprogram your subconscious mind, and I share a little bit about this stuff from today's video on that, but I also go way deeper into ways that this might be keeping you stuck, and really common but crucial and detrimental mistakes that I see a lot of people making when it comes to their mindset and their beliefs and where they're giving that power. So if you want support, I'll drop the link down below, or you can comment training and I will send you that link to the mindset training, because that's going to help so much. And I give like an exact 3-step process to constantly help you shift and realign with who it is you want to be and the beliefs, the mindset, the stories of that person, so that you can really like quantum leap and step into or jump into that version of you so much faster. So again, the link for that will be down below right away, or you can comment training and I'll send it to you. And yeah, I really hope this video was helpful. Please comment, share any questions if you have them, and I will see you tomorrow for the next day, for the next video.